right.
You are the king.
Welcome
of just...
to the Tuesday Night Review. My name is Yazeed.
I'm Tommy. What's up?
And we're going to start off a little differently than we usually do. We're going to start off with some seriousness.
Seriousness?
Yeah.
Are you joking?
Yo, what the fuck, bro?
What do you...
Why'd you not come that night?
Wait, oh, wow, we're starting...
Yeah, what's up, bro?
Oh, yeah, okay, so I guess if you want to do it on this, so... Basically, I was pissed at you guys. You fully did not...
We played Mario Kart.
No, you fully did not answer me.
What?
None of you answered me for the longest time. And
for
then
what time?
Stupid... No, I don't want to have this on here, but...
Doesn't matter.
Okay, well, somebody else was with me, Sam, okay, and putting on the pressure, okay, for me to hang out with her, and basically, I didn't fall asleep, though. I was just annoyed at you guys, so I chose her over you. But
you didn't let us know.
Yeah, I know, because that's what you guys like to do. You like to not answer the phone.
When?
No, you for like hours, okay?
When? I was probably at work.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It's all right. Can you agree?
It's in the past.
No. I'm not dropping this. You have to blame solely Claude, because you were asking Claude questions that only Claude can answer.
Yes.
You asked about Mario Kart, and only Claude can answer that.
Yeah.
I can't answer that.
And when he said,
Billy and I have jobs, and Claude does not have a job.
Okay, that really infuriates me that he doesn't have a job.
He was literally just at home.
I did not know that, but when he was like, I can't really tell you like yes or no. That literally made me so angry. I got so...
You should have just responded to what other than...
No, it's just making me angry.
Doesn't matter. Alright, well, this is the Tuesday Night.
I didn't even know you were going to do this on here.
Yeah, well, I put you on the spot.
I know.
Basically...
For our zero fans.
This is a podcast where Tommy and I review little informal reviews of music in terms of albums and film in terms of films. And
what?
That's kind of how it is. That was a really good explanation, Yazeed. Thank you. So we'll kind of jump right into it.
Wait, they're not even gonna get what we're talking about.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Oh, all right.
Oh
wait.
They.
Yeah, but we should say, listen, if somehow you get here, all right, and you find this channel, like put some recommendations in, like. Obviously, we're going to do our own thing, and we're not going to really listen to your comments.
Yeah, but you might inspire me.
Yes, but so if you write something that is inspiring or like a really great one, then we'll review it. Or
possibly. No promises.
No promises, but it might be a wasted comment.
Yeah, but what is a wasted comment? People comment first. That's a wasted
comment.
comment.
I think that's honestly, that era is, I think it's over. It's more like... Oh, this YouTuber has ligma.
I guess.
Oh.
What's ligma?
Nah, just stop. Do you think Claude actually...
No, he said he didn't.
Alright, okay.
But honestly, ligma's not even that bad. Sugma is bad.
Or no, Eatma. Eatma, that's a...
No, Eatma's not even that bad. Chokama is pretty bad. Chokama.
Oh, God. Those are good ones. So, yeah.
Yeah, but just so you could also have Bofa, which is pretty bad, too.
Bofa these nuts.
Okay, alright. So...
Wait, did you just think of those on the spot?
No.
Okay.
Most of those are already real things.
Oh, alright.
Like real diseases.
Oh, and I guess since we're, like, already doing this weird intro, on the next time, our next episode, which...
Wait, we can just talk about that then.
No, I want to do it now.
Well, no.
Oh, okay.
So, let's jump into the album. Tommy... Take it away.
No, it's
They do the introduction of the album.
Oh, so the introduction of the album, Pink Floyd, The Dark Side of the Moon. There was actually a video, funny enough, on YouTube from Volkeist or something like that. He does these video essays, and he's talking about Dark Side of the Moon. And I don't know what year this is from, 1970 something. 73. There you go. And basically, before we talk about our favorite tracks and whatnot, just. Pink Floyd, they're this kind of like chill out, like weed band, alright?
I would say psychedelic, progressive, art rock. Those are all things that I would use.
Yeah, if you want to use real words.
Besides weed rock, which I don't think, or a weed band, which I don't think are. That's not a genre, I don't think, but maybe it is.
There's plenty of people that just listen to this to get high.
It doesn't matter. I don't think they made.
Okay,
you can't
I
call
know
it
that.
weed rock. I feel like that's a different thing. I feel like that's rock about weed.
No way.
I think psychedelic is
Psychedelic.
art rock.
No, because there's different. Because I wouldn't smoke a big blunt to King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard.
Yeah, you could though.
No.
What's the difference?
Because they're the sound. This sound is like, oh yeah, whoa, and then their stuff is like blah blah blah. Like basically that's
Yeah,
it.
but it doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. How do you want to just listen to someone yelling in a good
You're
way?
saying that people smoke weed to certain albums when that's not necessarily true. People smoke weed listening to rap music.
Okay, yes.
What's the difference? So you're saying rap music and
No.
this album are the same?
No.
That's what I'm taking from this.
No.
I'm taking that from this.
No, those are different genres. No. It's just weed rock. You can have a weed rap.
Yeah, but that's rap about weed.
Okay, that
Like
might
Wiz
be.
Khalifa.
That might be, yeah.
So I'm right. Moving on. Why don't you? I don't know. You want to give your initial reaction to this, or do you want me to?
Yeah,
give mine?
I'll just start off.
Okay.
So, basically, Alright, I wanted to review this because it's a really famous album, okay? And when it was made, it just it has a lot of sales. People really ate this shit up. They love this. It was really what's the word? What did you say? Really
iconic. I don't know.
No, not yes, it's that too, but it's very.
It's well known. I don't.
It's not well. Yes, it is well known, but that's not the word I'm thinking of. It's revolutionary. It was very revolutionary for its time.
I said that.
No, you didn't say that, but
Okay.
I was thinking it. But I thought you said that because we're the same person.
Okay.
And I think if you look at a history view on it, like an influence, it really inspired a lot of things. But if you're looking at from now back, I don't think it's overrated. I still think it's a really good album, but it's not that great. You know what I mean?
What I will say
it's above average for me.
is that yes, very great album. Great album. Yeah, I think that no one really can deny that. Wildly overrated. I think that it's not even close to Pink Floyd's best album.
Which is?
In my opinion, it's Wish You Were Here.
No.
My
The
second
Wall.
favorite, no.
No, what?
The Wall is my third favorite.
What's your second?
Animals, which is the most underrated in my opinion.
I haven't
because
heard-
that one, to be honest,
I haven't heard
for
the whole
me,
thing.
that one is really good. I think Wish You Were Here is really good because I hate to say this, but yeah, it's super experimental. There's a lot of industrialness to it.
Ooh.
It's just so it's like when you listen to it. I like in terms of a concept record, this is probably the best concept record. Animals is pretty close, but that doesn't mean everything. You know, I think that when I listen to an album and I instantly have an image of what, like when it puts me in, sucks me into a world.
Yeah,
like Wish You Were, yeah, like sucks me. Like,
I got you though.
that is something that really great albums do. And Wish You Were Here, when I listen to the album, I'm like, holy fuck, like I'm really into where I am. Like this sucks me into a place. It really sucks me. And,
Alright, have you heard their first album?
No, I've only listened to
The great ones, right?
maybe even just those four, but maybe another one. I mean, let me.
There's a bunch of them.
Not the Division Bell. Final Cut. I didn't really like actually, but probably earlier than the Dark Side of the Moon. I haven't listened to.
Yeah, their stuff is. Their first couple are bland. I would say bland. I haven't listened to them fully. I've only listened to them 2 or 3 times because I needed to get myself into their waters. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But don't say sure. But
Surely.
I think they are a good band just because.
No, I don't think. I think they're an amazing band, and they deserve to be remembered as a legendary band. And this album is, in very much, can be considered legendary. I'm fine with that. I think that it's probably their most accessible though.
Accessible. What do you mean? Like you
can get into it
Okay,
the
alright.
easiest without having to know a lot of the tropes of that genre, or because you come in with biases. If I was listening to a metal album, you gotta think about what's the most accessible metal album.
Oh my god, this.
Because if you listen to like whatever the best doesn't necessarily mean you'll like it from the jump because of the fact that your ears aren't used to listening to that album.
Yeah, I actually don't think you should listen to their best. Any group or artist, I don't think you should ever listen to their best first.
I think it's hard not to though, because if I were to listen to like I don't know. If I were to listen to Yeezus by Kanye West.
Don't say that's his worst. Don't say
it's his worst.
Don't say that's his
worst.
If
I listen to that and I go,
false.
Do I go, I want to listen to this guy more? Maybe not. I don't think I walk away from that album saying, I want to listen to this guy more. This guy's a legend. No.
Yeah, but... Whoa.
So what I'm saying is that if you don't listen to someone's best album, it may turn you off.
Yeah, but what kind of a... Wait a second. I'm saying that from my point of view.
Okay, yeah, but I was talking about from the general
perspective. From the general perspective.
Obviously, I will go into something with a little bit more knowledge than the average person just because I like to do my research and know a lot about something before I go and listen to it.
Well, I'll just force myself to listen to it even if it's garbage. At least until I know that the next 3 albums are garbage. But because when I listen to the best... and then I hear something that's subpar, and I know that the rest are subpar, it doesn't really... that makes me not want to listen to more of it.
Yeah, but then that's why... yeah, but that just separates the good artists from the not great artists. Like,
what do you mean?
Like, a great artist can't have one great album.
No,
We've talked about this before.
Yes.
But, if it's subpar, it's subpar. That's life, you know. That's disappointing, but they haven't come up with something great yet. But that doesn't really apply to Pink Floyd. I think... Pink Floyd have great albums, multiple of them, enough to be considered a legendary band. And this album's not bad by any means. It's good. It's great, you know. I just think it's the one that's talked about the most, and I think that's unfair. I think it's really good, but it just doesn't do the same job that, like, you know, Wish You Were Here does for me, Animals does for me.
I don't think it really has, like, a... like feeling after like a great movie. It doesn't give me that feeling. It gives me like, wow, that was good, but it wasn't like, wow, that made me think about life heavily. Yeah. And also, any like album like that you're wearing a shirt and I go into UPS and they're like, wow, I really respect you, I'll leave you alone for the rest of the day. Like, fuck you. Alright, it doesn't matter what the shirt should be. And I just wanted to say that for the record because I get that shit all the time whenever I wear one of these fucking shirts. Because they're just like, wow, it's so great. It's such a good album. Like, okay, we get it. You're 50 years old, okay?
Okay.
And working at UPS.
Why don't we get into more of the actual album?
Alright, fine.
So what songs did you like the most?
Alright, so, I mean, like I said, I pretty much like all these, but Breathe in the Air is pretty good. Obviously, Time and Money, Great Gig in the Sky. Brain Damage, and Eclipse was pretty good.
Yeah, I think all the songs are good. Money is definitely my favorite because of just how unorthodox it is. Like, it starts off with those fucking money sounds, and like it's just like,
and it changes.
And it's, for me in 1973, you know, obviously I can look to like the Beatles' recording habits in like the 60s. Mm-hmm. And think about like some of the stuff on the White Album in terms of like what was possible, because that's my mark.
Okay.
And like the Revolution, not the one that everyone's like the, you know, the popular one, but the other Revolution on that one. There's one later, which I forget.
Oh,
the
I know.
number.
Oh, the actual song. I know what you're talking about.
But you know what I'm talking about. There's a difference because there's the Revolution, the song.
Yes.
And so the other one is like.
Is there a number? There's like a number.
Yeah, there's numbers. I forget what the numbers are. That's what I'm forgetting.
I know what you're talking
about. But
yes.
The other Revolution is just this like sound montage. It's not really even a song. I mean, I guess everything can be considered a song, but really it's not a song.
Oh, that's really true. What can be considered a song?
So,
wow, that's it. Okay, go ahead.
That's a topic from a different day.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead.
So, they do like really unorthodox things, and it's really fucking weird. A lot of backwards playing, but for the money, it's just really it's a good song. And it incorporates some, you know, weirder stuff, the money sounds, which I thought are really interesting, and it sets it apart from, you know, a lot of other songs. Mm-hmm. The Great Gig in the Sky is kind of like, it's super epic, I think is the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of this album does give off the sound of like epic, or the effect of epic, but I don't think it always backs it up well. Like I think
How do you mean?
I think like it does have like guitar solos and chords that are like really grand, but when you in the sound of the album, but when you look back on it, I think they aren't really that grand. It just sounds that way. If that makes any sense. I'm not really
like
able
the
to
complexity.
articulate. Yeah, the complex. It's not very
Okay,
complex.
I understand. Oh yes.
And it's not super like, you know, experimental or artsy. Like some of the other stuff is really fucking out there. And I mean, even in terms of its being a concept album, Animals is. I mean, okay, Wish You Were Here has a loose concept about, you know, Syd Barrett, but Animals is based off of the book Animal Farm.
I did not know that.
But it has like a different ending. So in the end of that album, the pigs, or not the pigs, the sheep rise up.
In the wait, what?
So like the Animal Farm.
In the book.
No, in the book Animal Farm. You know the book.
Yes, I know.
Did you read it?
Yes, I've read the book before.
I have not read it, but I know the the concept.
The plot.
Of it. So in the plot, who wins in the end?
The animals, don't they? They rise up.
Yeah. Wait.
In the.
But okay, whatever.
Am I not right?
No, I don't know.
Oh.
I just remember that the animal in the
You could just look up the plot
album.
right now.
Yeah, I know. In the album, the sheep rise up in the end to defeat like the pigs, I guess, and the dogs.
I could be very wrong here.
But all right, the point is, I have to. Okay, of course, I can't look at this album in a vacuum. I like Pink Floyd. I like some of their albums. I haven't listened to all of them. I'm not going to lie about that. But for me, it's hard for me to not compare it to like the other, albums.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying. I haven't said that to you, but
That's what I'm saying,
that's like with you could say that just about music in general. How like the '50s it was very simple, and then gradually it got more complicated. Or just like with Radiohead, how it started simple with any band really, or the Beatles, simple, complicated, and maybe complicated's a little bit better sometimes. But it's hard to. You said though that you can compare anything, which is true, but it is hard to compare something that is very like different like that, especially with music. I think
that the pigs win in the end of Animal Farm or something. I mean, I remember the ending of like the pigs and the humans. They can't tell the difference between them. Do you remember that?
Hold on. I'm gonna get it right now.
All right, let me continue talking about the album that we came here to talk about. Okay.
I think they've gotten our point of view across.
So the music is good, and it's definitely a worthy album, but it's hailed as their best by a lot of people.
Yes,
and definitely the mainstream will only know this album. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the ending that they can't distinguish.
But I think in the album Animals, the sheep rise up and win.
All right.
So it's a little different. It's a little more positive than that.
So that I was wrong. Then they don't rise up; they just mingle with each other. They mix in.
Yeah.
Ooh, I do remember the Manor Farm. That is a strange ending.
So.
Oh yes, and the commandments. All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. Wow.
Well, because I think that the book had like Stalin-esque themes.
Yeah.
But I think that the Animals, the album, has more like communist. It's same like communist themes, because that's inescapable. The sheep are the masses and whatever, the pigs or whatever are like the proletariat or whatever it was.
I know what you're saying. Yes.
But the sheep win, so it's saying that the masses can rise up.
Why the sheep in that?
I think it's the idea of sheep versus. Sheep are what are sheep? Sheep follow like people. Dogs are dog herders, and dog is an album too. There's themes of dogs, pigs, and sheep, and the dogs are the leaders. But it's saying if the sheep start thinking for themselves, then they can uprise. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, I think we've mostly gotten our points across about the album, like you said. So, Look, I'm not gonna say this album isn't great. It's great. It's really good. I really love. I really enjoy this album. I just think it's unfairly heralded as the best by the mainstream and by a lot of people that are more like novices in the music scene. And
yeah, come on, people.
that's okay, but I think that you shouldn't be like, all right, Pink Floyd are Dark Side of the Moon, and that stops there. There's more to them, and I think that people should really put the effort into listen to more of their albums because
well, it's just people in general. They're not gonna. No, you can't ask someone to listen to 15 albums and 20 albums of a band unless you really love them. You got to go out of your way.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I wish people wouldn't look at it like you said, like so seriously, and that it's the best. Oh my God, it's like the best thing I've ever heard. But you can't expect people to be smarter than they are. And
I don't know if the theme of Animals would argue that.
Well, some people are just dumb.
So yeah, okay. I mean, Money's good. The Great Gig in the Sky, Time, Eclipse, Brain Damage. All these songs are really good, and it's good enough to. Since all the songs are good, I would have to consider this a great album, especially considering besides Money, I would pretty much rather listen to the whole album than just a few songs.
Yeah, that is true.
Which is my mark of what a great when it's like. What's a great album is like, I don't want to just listen to a couple of songs.
Well, even like a concept album kind of gets you like that too. Which this is.
Yeah, but I think this is a little, like, it's good. Yeah.
That they usually like hook you in to listen to everything. Kind of like To Pimp a Butterfly, Well, that's a good album, but any concept, you want to listen to the whole thing. It's like, you don't want to read half a book.
Yes, but I think this one's more, yeah, you're right.
Unless that like, or it's like a short, like, unless the short story is the best thing ever, which Money and Time are, or if you prefer Money, whatever, it doesn't matter. But basically, we thought it was really good, just not as people say. And basically,
well, I think it's as good as people say, but there's more after that, So it's not their best album by any means. I'll tell you that.
Yes.
So well, I think we'll leave it at that.
Alrighty.
Alright. We're back into it. Discussing the film Blue Velvet, 1986. David Lynch.
Yeah.
And I guess let's start with you because I'm more interested in finding your perspective on this film.
Actually, no. You're gonna start because I started for the album.
Okay.
So it's fair.
I liked it just as much as Tommy is going to like it.
Yeah, you're correct.
No, I'm kidding.
What? You've joked me out.
No, I do really like this film.
Alright, I like it too.
Okay. There's a couple of things I gotta get off right off the bat. So, for a film like this...
There's nudity in this film.
Okay. So...
Boobs.
Anytime...
In the thumbnail.
There's a film or, like, a piece of media where there's, like, a world and then there's, like... They're showing off, like, the dark underbelly of a world. Like, basically... the main character gets sucked into, like, not literally, but sucked into this, like, dark part of the world that he doesn't know about.
Yes.
And it's very weird, and it's embodied, like, once he starts seeing things, he sees it in everything. You know what I mean? Where he's like, oh shit, this is the world that I live in. And it's a very interesting film. Okay, so another thing we gotta get off right off the back. David Lynch is my favorite director.
I thought it was James Cameron for his Avatar movie.
No, that's such a not great movie.
What?
Avatar's overrated.
Well, I'm gonna make you review it, so
well,
you better take it back right now.
Alright, it's pretty good. It's actually not that bad. I just think
give it a 5 out of 10 at least.
Oh yeah, no, it's not less than 5 out of 10.
Okay.
I just think for being one of the most popular films, and especially box office, it's just like
box office.
It's not that good. The effects were really the best thing at the time, which I think doesn't really age as well now, being from 2009.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a copy of like Dancing with Wolves. If you look at the plots.
Dancing with Wolves.
Someone with
yes.
Okay.
I know what that is.
Not very original plot. I think the world is cool and everything, but maybe the sequels and stuff will add to it. That's
I
the
hope
whole.
so.
Okay. David Lynch, my favorite director.
What else did he direct?
Eraserhead.
Oh my god.
Um,
That movie's too weird.
Mulholland Drive.
I think my dad saw that movie, and I said, I think after the night that I came here and watched or half watched it, right? Because I fell asleep. I was like, do you know what Eraserhead is? And either my mom or my dad said, yeah, and that's a weird movie, Tommy.
It is.
That was like, ugh.
So Mulholland Drive is another one. He directed Dune, the adaptation of the book Dune, but it's not that good.
I've not seen.
But he also made Twin Peaks.
Okay.
So
all right, well,
and Twin Peaks is very good. Very good, and a lot of things that people don't like about Twin Peaks I actually do like, because
what do they not like?
Twin Peaks, the second season, like, essentially jumps the shark. Like, a lot of less. The first season was more like hinting towards supernatural things, but the second season's really like balls to the wall, fucking craziness. And I actually appreciate that about Twin Peaks. I don't think that's a negative thing for me.
So you think the second season was better than the first?
No, I think they go together.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't really. It's 2 seasons. There's a new one that I haven't seen yet, but
are you waiting till that's full?
I think it's done. I'm waiting for easier access to it. It was on like Showtime, and I don't have Showtime, and I can watch it illegally, but it's a little bit more difficult. But we'll see. Eventually, I'll get to it, and
because you already have all those viruses anyway.
Yeah, I actually I recently had a virus scare, but that's neither here nor scare.
That wasn't funny. Nope, not funny. Deeming that not funny.
All right, why don't you talk about the fucking film?
All right, yeah, I fucking will. All right, good, because I have all the notes and I'm prepared, bitch. All right, so, yeah, this is from the 80s. I did not know that. I had to look it up. 86. I don't know if you said that. It's rated R.
I said that. I didn't say rated R.
It's rated R. And it has a 94.
Also, Laura Dern is.
Oh, you said me. You said me.
I just want to say,
nope.
Laura Dern.
Nope.
I want to say something that we're gonna agree about.
Okay.
Laura Dern. She plays the girl.
Yes.
Really fucking hot in this movie.
No, I didn't think she was.
Yeah.
It wasn't that hot.
Just compared to her. She was the.
What do you mean compared to now?
Move on. Go.
Yeah.
I thought Laura Dern was hot in this movie.
Well, you just like blondes. All right, so basically, yeah, exactly. Now, so basically, during this movie, I did never seen this movie before. First time watching it. It was really good. Hey, don't even start. I liked some of during the movie. There's some of these shots where it would just be like a person, the main character too, Jeffrey, and it would have it would be like a dark mood almost, or like an atmosphere, but it was like in a shot, and it was very ominous, and it was like, I don't think I've seen a lot of that in recent movies that I like to watch, and I wish that kind of I don't even know what you call that, cinematography.
I would say cinematography, but I would also say a lot of movies today lack like art direction. In terms of like
the plot,
things that have less to do with plot and more have to do with like images that you're seeing. Yes. I think that's what a lot of mainstream movies miss.
I wish that was in
and that's more of like a trope in art films or films that are considered arty. A lot of foreign films that are like classics have a lot of that. And I think David Lynch is like a less of a director and more of an auteur. That's like French. So I'm familiar with the term kind of meaning. It's like those people that they have such like a style and they're like students of film, less of just like guys that make movies.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. So, I just thought like that whole like those scenes just really provided like a lot of suspense, and I didn't really know the first time I like saw it in the movie. I was like, wow, this is like, that's weird. Like, that's like what's gonna happen next, and it would just like fade to something else, and it was like, wait, what happened? Like, that was weird.
So this is like I'm gonna go off on a little tangent, but that's okay. A lot of this life is tangents. So there's a director, an Italian director. He directed
The Shape of Water.
Sorry, Shape of Water was it directed? No, what the fuck? That's Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah,
He's Mexican.
What? He's not Italian?
No, the guy that made Call Me by Your Name is Italian.
Oh. Gotcha.
One second.
All right, so while you're doing that,
wait, I got it. So Federico Fellini, he directed La Dolce Vita.
Fellini, Spaghetti.
I think he directed also 8.5. So there's this interesting review from acclaimed movie reviewer Roger Ebert, and negative reactions originally to La Dolce Vita, because it has a lot more. It has parts where it's just images opposed to, like, a story. Like, there's a lot of imagery in it that has necessarily nothing to do with the plot, but has a lot to do with the film. If you know what I'm saying. Themes and things like that. So, there was negative reactions to this, since they were saying, well, why... I'm tired of... People didn't like it, and people were saying that, this, like... fantastical nature, this like almost fantasy nature of it, it doesn't lend itself well to storytelling. It's bad. And Roger Ebert says that he disagrees, and he thinks that themes and storytelling cannot necessarily evoke images in a film, but images can evoke a theme and storytelling. It's not both ways. It's that, and images can provide something that something cannot provide. Like, images can provide a lot. That's why paintings are so... there's a lot that can happen in a painting that can't happen with, like, like a video. You know what I'm saying? Like, a video's not necessarily an enhancement on a picture. Not necessarily. It can be, but not necessarily.
Yes, I know
so,
what you're saying, yes.
I would say that David Lynch uses this kind of idea of that images can bring about a feeling, an emotion, where storytelling cannot necessarily provide that part.
Yes.
In a lot of points. So I'd say that's something that's missing from a lot of modern day films.
In that movie, those images, are they just... I don't quite understand.
I think they have to do with the way he wants you to feel about a lot of things.
So you're like... Is it like you're watching a movie and then an image pops up?
No, I think it all adds into a movie. It might not add into the direct story, but I think a film isn't necessarily a story always. A film is a film. It's its own thing.
Okay.
Story is part of a film, but I think they have to do with, I think it's just a lot more artsy of an idea than the modern day films have. It's modern, let's think of a film. Like, what's...
What? Like,
let's say, how about this? Let's say, like, Avengers. The last Avengers, Infinity War.
Okay.
Avengers Infinity War tells a story.
Yes. But it doesn't...
It doesn't really...
Evoke emotion?
I'm not saying that, but I think it evokes emotion through the story. Okay. But not through images, necessarily.
I just don't understand... I understand what you're saying about that, but I don't understand... I guess I'd have to watch the movie to understand...
I think watch the movie with a more, like, thinking about how that makes you feel and what comes next... and a lot of things. Because a lot of times, stuff will not really make sense. This is how, like, a lot of David Lynch's things are, where, especially think about Eraserhead, like, things that don't make sense to you, right?
I think it had to be my dad. He was like, yeah, there's a baby in it. It was like...
Yeah, so things don't really make sense, but when you look at it in terms of a story, it doesn't make sense, right?
Yes.
But if you look at things in terms of a film...
It's the atmosphere, yes, all adds into
that's the thing that you can't... People now... Film is simplified in a lot of ways. In the mainstream.
No, that goes back to the... I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Because it goes back to the... I didn't really like that in the music. When I was listening to the band Gas, you probably should listen to them. But it's all of, like, the same type of song, but it really gets you into a mood. And it really tries to, like... force you into a certain emotion. I didn't really like it because I don't think I understood it properly.
Yeah,
but it's not something I wanted to hear like all the time. It's kind of like one of those. It's kind of like when you want to hear like just a rap song that has no meaning to it.
Yeah.
Or you want to listen to Kendrick.
That's why. For me, there's like that's okay. Liking music is fine. I think it's a problem when you only listen to one genre, because you're just lacking an understanding of things, and you're being closed-minded. You can do whatever you want. You have the right to do whatever you want. I'm not saying that you don't have that, but I'm saying that, if you want to have a greater understanding of the world and of music and of film, you should open yourself up to a lot of different kinds of genres and things. I don't know. Fuck, I forgot what I was exactly saying. But, so I think that sometimes you're like, oh, I really don't want to listen to Kendrick Lamar, who has a thoughtful message and ideas. It's very complex. It takes you listening with your mind also, not just your ears. And then sometimes you're just like, fuck it, I'll play Playboy Cardi and just literally mindlessly listen to this. That's fine.
Gucci
and that
gang,
doesn't.
Gucci gang.
Or Lil Pump, those are things that's just reality. That sometimes you don't always want to listen to something so highbrow. That's why action movies are a thing. Marvel movies aren't fucking highbrow. That doesn't mean they're not good. They're good in.
No, I know. For what
it's not gonna be for what they are. Yeah, and that's the same thing. It's like something is good for what it is. Sometimes
it occupies that certain area. People want it, so it's available.
Yeah. So Blue Velvet. This main character, I think he finds an ear in the beginning,
yes.
And that kind of is the first.
Well, his
part.
Dad, you gotta explain that part, because that part kind of threw me off too.
What?
His father is literally watering. You don't need to explain it because
so
I figured it out.
Okay, sure.
But he. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I thought about it. But he was like washing the garden or whatever, washing it, spraying it with water. What do you say? Cleaning it?
Watering the garden.
Watering the garden. There you go. Sorry. And then he just falls over it, and then it goes down. That whole, that's such weird, film where it's just, it's all a bunch of bugs and stuff.
Yeah, but I think that's, again, that's something that, a case where imagery and symbolism can bring about a lot more than it can be. So I think for me, I interpret that 100% as the seedy. He's going to be in this underground of the world, which is what happens. All the people that he gets involved with, that's the bugs. That's the people underneath. The people you don't see. Everything, especially his town, looks like a garden.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
all sunny and fucking beautiful. But then when you get down to the nitty gritty, you'll see that
everyone's a fucking villain.
It's like, whoa, what the fuck is happening here? Everything's dark. There's a lot of shit that's really disturbing going on.
Oh,
that's what you get that from the jump. I think that's something that a lot of wasted scenes in a lot of movies, and he doesn't waste a fucking second in this movie. No. Everything has a purpose.
The father doesn't have a fucking purpose, though, and I was mad. I wish there was something more.
He had a stroke.
I know, but I didn't understand. I thought whenever it panned down, I know that's where it was taking me. But when I originally saw it in the beginning, I was like, okay, this father has something to.
But I think it's not the father that has.
No, I know
everything around it.
I know that, but I just wished he was I just wish he was doing something else. I think I always secretly wish that for minor characters.
Okay. So I mean, I like this movie from the jump. Just being he gets involved. This girl has a boyfriend, Laura Dern's character.
He fully steals her away.
Sandy, he steals her away because he's just such a player. Kyle MacLachlan, sorry. He's in, Twin Peaks. He's the star of Twin Peaks. Just fucking robs her. He does it, and this isn't necessarily a main character that you'll I think he's okay, but you're not on board with him necessarily. You know what I mean? He's not a hero, really.
No.
Or maybe in the end he becomes kind of a hero, but he's not. He doesn't have the things that you would consider a hero to have, those kind of parts.
I have till 1:30. Go ahead.
Okay. He is a little different than that. He's more selfish and self-serving than a hero would necessarily be.
I know.
And I think that adds to it. It's really interesting. He's not above anything.
No.
He's just kind of really interested in finding out what this year does. I think Sandy's father is in the police.
Yeah. I liked when the father was like, "Don't blow this, dude." He was and he saw. I always feel like we have to explain the plot, but you'll know it when you see it. hopefully you watch the movie before we actually review it. And just like with, can I just go on a side tangent because you did? But when I'm not gonna name names, but when someone reviews music or an album, or I mean music or a movie, I feel like if I see the review first and I know their opinion, I feel like they're already like influencing me. If they don't like it, and there's some situations where I don't care. But if I like watch something or listen to something before I hear somebody else's opinion, I feel like I've already established my opinion, and then I can compare it. I think it's better that way. But go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. This movie gets pretty dark in some spots. Yeah. There's like nudity and a lot of like really fucked up shit happens.
Can we please talk about like because that was like the strangest thing.
Which part?
What do you mean? Guess. Take a guess.
I don't know. There's a lot of weird parts. There's the girl freaking out when she's naked running around.
That's later. No, yeah, I'm talking about early on.
What?
When he's literally in her apartment. That is the weirdest shit ever.
And he's like hiding.
Yes. Oh my god. So
he's talking about is this other girl, not really girl. I would call her more of like a woman.
Singer.
Yeah.
She's a singer.
Yeah, she's a singer at like a nightclub.
Have you heard? Dorothy? Did you hear the original Blue Velvet song before you heard this?
No.
That's a good song. I've heard it. I appreciated this movie just because it had that song.
Okay.
That's a really good
song. So
that's a good 50s song. Very few of those.
What? No, I was going to say something.
So you got to build up to it. So
he gets involved with this. He's in this lady's apartment. I think he saw her sing first, right?
Yes,
he's been following her.
You got to talk about the plan. So he's with the girl, Sandy, and they come up with this plan basically, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna be an exterminator. I'm gonna go in the house, open up a window, blah blah. Basically, the plan doesn't go that way necessarily, but he gets into her house, right?
Yeah.
And then he's in the closet, and it just from there just goes up, and the chaos and just weirdness level is increased so bad, and the whole thing where she just opens the door and this guy just comes in and she's just beaten and he doesn't even have sex with her. That's what weirded me out. He doesn't even have sex with her and he's breathing through the... Just wait.
Yeah.
Because he's breathing through the air mask and I still never got why he's doing that, and I think it's some kind of drug.
It's either that or he has like a medical condition. I don't know if I can kind of figure it out.
But he like beats her and like not rapes her, but it's like it feels like.
But also, she does like getting.
You didn't know that. You didn't know that. Wait, at that time.
Okay, yeah, but
at that time, yes.
Sure.
At that time, he didn't know that. Our main character Jeffrey didn't know that. I didn't know that. So I thought she was getting raped, and it felt like it.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't. There's no sex. But he basically hits her, and then he's like, "Show me." And it's like all this weird stuff. But then, basically, she finds Jeffrey because he's an idiot and he moves. And she's like, I'll fucking kill you. Dude, that's crazy. I thought he was getting stabbed. She was like, I'll fucking kill you. Don't fucking move. Like, that scene. Like, dude, this is such a weird movie.
So another thing I've read is that,
you gotta let me...
The lady that's an actress is fucking, like, insane.
Oh, she's actually a crazy person.
Well, I heard that, like... I just heard that she's really fucking insane. Like, there's a lot, like, she's, I don't know, she's interesting because she's Italian, she's worked with Italian directors that I'm familiar with, because I have a lot of
knowledge,
information and interest in Italian film.
Wait, dubbed or subbed?
It's dubbed. I'm kidding, you would never watch that shit fucking dubbed. Subbed, how the fuck are you gonna watch? Anime's different, but watching a film, would you ever watch a film dubbed? No.
Yes. If I didn't, I'm not gonna fucking read the whole time.
So she's the daughter of a famous director, Roberto Rossellini, and a famous actress, Ingrid Bergman. Ingrid Bergman, like, during the time was like the shit. Like, everyone wanted to work with her. She was Swedish, I think. so beautiful.
Yeah, Swedish people are beautiful.
And Roberto Rossellini was working with her. She was married, I'm pretty sure, but he was still kind of like getting it on with her.
Nice.
And they worked like together a lot, so I'm familiar with him. But it's just interesting that she has like that. So she's like, she's the daughter of like two like really important people. But yeah, I've heard that
so you
she's
better be
kind of
something.
All
right, now let me finish this. Okay. Because you didn't let me finish. You cut me off at the best part too. Not yet. Oh crap! Because wait. All right. So she's like, "I'll fucking kill you," and then she's like, "Wait, no, I like this," and it was like so weird. It was like Stockholm syndrome, and it was like, "Take off your clothes." It was like the strangest fucking thing. Oh, she was like, "What did you say?" And she was like, "Take off your clothes." And he was like confused, but he was like kind of confused, but then he goes with it.
Well, like he's not like a morally strong character in the way a hero would be. Like he kind of just does what any man or average man would do in that situation. Like he easily gives into temptation. You know what I mean?
She's sucking his dick. Like, how do you just say, "Don't suck my dick"?
Well, doesn't she want him to beat him also? Or doesn't
that's
she
later on.
Want him to
that's
beat her?
Later on in bed. Okay. That's a later night. Okay. Because then I think the guy comes and he's like, "Who's in here?" Yeah. And then she's like, "All right, you gotta go." Or I think actually he's like, "I gotta go," because she's like crying and shit. But basically, that scene was just so whack, and it was just like,
well, I think that's not
are you fully gonna fuck him? Like,
the wackest scene is like when they kidnap him.
Oh yeah, and they're driving,
and then he's singing.
Oh my god, the
girls.
No, yeah, and the guy's like, "What's up?" But then he goes for the punch, and he punches him. It was like, okay, so I was like, all right, this guy is like kind of a good guy of the bad guys, but nope, he's actually just the leader, and he just doesn't want to get his hands dirty. That was like crazy, and then the stakeout where he takes all the pictures and stuff. That was like pretty weird, and he finds out that what's it called? That the guy with the briefcase until the end. Mm-hmm. And the ending's crazy too. We got to talk about that. But and then he wakes up beaten at the docks or whatever. That was pretty cool. I thought he was just gonna die at that point, and then the movie was gonna end, but I wasn't sure. Oh, okay, all right, yeah. So this basically is then. So basically, he goes back to her apartment like later on after he gets beaten, right? I assume. Mm-hmm. And then he just finds that the head cop guy is dead, and that what was the other guy? What other?
Which guy?
There was two guys that were dead.
I don't exactly remember.
Ah, damn it! It was the head cop guy, and it was somebody else. Oh, I think it was the suave guy, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so yes, he was dead. Maybe not though. And basically, Frank killed them both, and he figured out that was where the ear thing came from, and it all came like full circle. But then there's this full scene where he has to hide from Frank, and that was like the suspense was so high. Like I haven't felt like that in a horror movie recently in a while. Like this really, like the suspense just kept going up. It was really good, really solid. And then he shoots him in the head. Like wow, I don't understand too why he waited till he opened up the door. While Frank opened up the door, why didn't you just shoot him while you're in the fucking closet, man? That made no sense. Like wait till the last fucking second. Like
I don't know, maybe it was that he was like not confident he could see it exactly.
But basically, then Sandy and the cop guy come, and everything's just like in shock. And then the ending scene where
they're all together. Like Sandy and him.
Not that the ending scene. Yes, that. But the ending scene. That's the beginning scene where the guy in the fire truck, like that. It all came back, and it's all like. This is the happy world, but there's other shit, just like you said. It was really good. Yeah. I think it held up to like the 94% on Rotten Tomatoes that it had. Yeah. I think that this just like some of the past movies that we reviewed, you got some really good recommendations. I give you credit. This was a good movie. Yeah, I think, would you say that, is this a foreign film or no?
No. David Lynch is an American.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say something about The Shape of Water, because I like that one too, but basically, you have some good taste, Yazeed, so props to you. You did it.
Yay. So Laura Dern's hot in this movie?
No, I don't.
Cute.
She's cute, but like, I don't know. Like,
Whatever. You just saying.
I love my girlfriend.
Like, come on. Look, compare this.
No, I really don't
like,
think so, though.
It's like that.
Okay, stop.
So that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
See?
No, I understand that she's hotter when she's
Yeah, but
younger.
She's cute. Alright, for the past, like, seconds, you didn't...
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's...
You didn't hear anything, but we were just looking at pictures of Laura
Oh,
Dern.
yeah, that was probably really weird.
Alright,
we were looking at hot girls, naked hot
just
girls.
Laura Dern and not naked.
On xvideos.com. Alright.
Alright, so we're gonna move on
Tuesday night schmeckles.
into the topic.
Oh, yeah, what is it?
Today. So...
Yeah, I already know it.
Okay,
Yeah.
what is it?
Alright, wait, give me a hint.
Nah.
You have to give me a hint.
Okay, someone got fired recently.
You got fired from your job.
No.
No.
What? No.
Oh.
I meant like...
Oh.
a director got
Like
fired.
I don't think I'd know that.
Yeah.
James Cameron.
No.
That's the only person.
His
I
name
know.
starts with James, but it's not Cameron.
James Garfield.
No.
Is that a person?
Nope. Yes, it is. Okay.
Is that the president?
Yeah, the current president, James Garfield. Yeah. So, James Gunn, director of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies,
No.
was fired
The first one?
recently.
He made the first
Both
one?
of them.
No. Why did he get fired?
So,
Did he do something bad?
not exactly. Well, yeah, yes and no. It depends.
Was
on
it
what-
sexual assault?
No. Some tweets or things he had said.
Did he say the N-word?
No.
Did
Just
you
hear
hear
me
about
out,
the
listen.
Papa John guy?
Yes.
Is the N-word?
Just listen.
You can't say that anymore.
No.
You can't say the
I'm
N-word.
supposed to. Yeah, I don't.
Don't say the N-word.
I'm not saying it.
Well, don't say it right now.
Okay.
On camera.
Don't say it. Okay.
I won't. No.
Stop.
I'm really not.
James Gunn, a couple of tweets or things that he said from 10 years ago about resurfaced.
10 years ago.
Yeah, hear me out. They were jokes. Jokes that may not be funny, but they were jokes. They were things intended for humor. Saying stuff about rape and pedophilia. And, they were jokes that weren't necessarily made to be taken seriously.
Man, he got fired for that, though?
So,
Can you show me some of the tweets?
Yeah, I can. I'll show you some of them. But give me a sec to kind of set the
I
table.
understand.
He apologized for them a long time ago. That this wasn't old news. Old articles from a long time ago say the same thing. This isn't news. That he said these things. People knew about these things. It wasn't a secret. It's not a hidden tape that was released. These were public documents,
Okay.
public things that you could see in the public.
So I take it that you're not happy with this either?
I'm not, it's not that I'm not happy,
You think it was
I
justified?
think it's dangerous. It's dangerous.
Because you could pull up anything about anyone if you ever
yeah.
did any bad thing in your life.
Yeah, so it's hard. Yes, so now he's 51, and he said these things in his 40s, so he wasn't a kid, but people make mistakes and say things.
Well, honestly, I think it does depend on what he said. That's why I wanted to see.
Yeah, so...
if it's I fucking raped this girl or something like that might not be okay.
Okay. So I'll try to pull those up as I talk. So, he was fired because they resurfaced recently. It was more of a...
Maybe they just wanted to get rid of him.
I would say probably not, but so... James Gunn was in this little Twitter.
Wait, what about Corey Guns? Do you know who that is?
Yes, James Gunn was kind of in these. Okay, so I got these tweets. So here's some of them. Okay, so with the hashtag unromantic movies, he tweeted 3 men and a baby they had sex with.
That's okay.
Another tweet, the best thing about being raped is when you're done being raped and it's like, ooh, this feels great, not being raped.
It's not really funny.
Just jokes. There are definitely things that they're trying to be funny, but they're not really that funny. They're not like good jokes.
It was 10 years ago, though. Was it, I guess, a different climate.
So, yeah, but regardless.
I guess I'm not really trying to.
I think that we don't have to defend them because he's not sitting here trying to defend them. He's saying, like, look, I made a mistake by saying these things. I was trying to be funny. I think that I've grown to understand these things are funny, but also, like, he's not saying that he's. Like, it's not like he did these things, you know, or thought about these things. He was just saying them in an attempt to be funny. He was fired after these tweets resurfaced because there was some little, like, Twitter exchange between him and, like some conservative people, like, not people, but, like, I guess journalists, you could say, or, like, figures. I think one of them was, like, Ben Shapiro, that...
I like Ben Shapiro.
So, the point is...
But I don't agree with some of his views.
So, the point, I think, was that, he was saying stuff like, well, these people really aren't that good, after someone brought up the fact that if you're looking for people to follow that you won't necessarily agree with, then Ben Shapiro is a good one, but then James Gunn said, no, you know, like, I don't know, he said some pretty bad stuff, and then I guess the other side, the conservative side of Twitter, attacked him for saying these, and if I'm a little bit off on any of these things, I apologize, you know,
fact check us, bitch.
Yeah, just fact check me, I'm not 100% on all these things,
we're on the internet,
this is what I kind of got. You know, correct me if I'm wrong. That's fine. I'm not going to be like, I'm right all the time. I'm not.
Well, I am, so fuck you.
Okay. So, they brought up these tweets and said, well, you're not really that good either. Like, look at the things you've said. So, I think that it's hard for me to justify this firing in the terms of an art sense. In terms of a business sense, I understand it. Disney probably were aware of these tweets and James Gunn's past. He was in a lot of, like, shock horror things that were offensive to, you know, that's how he kind of got his start. So they're probably aware, but once general public decides something, they kind of will sway immediately because they're a family company. I'm using quotations.
Yeah, but I don't think people would. You think people would really stop watching Guardians of the Galaxy? They would boycott it just because he's the director? I think
it's actually an interesting... thing, because it seems like both sides are kind of
I don't think they
going after this. So I think that there's a lot of
both sides, both, like, Democrats,
political sides. Yeah, so I would say more like liberal, conservative. It seems like conservatives went after him for doing, like, all these, like, saying all these things, and also he is probably pretty much outspoken as being, you know, not conservative.
So the liberals hate him too?
But I think that the liberals are saying, well, this isn't funny, that offends me, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Oh, my God.
So I think it's hard because it's from both sides.
You can't mix politics in with movies.
I think politics are inseparable with life. And people can live this life.
I don't think with religion
you can ignore
either.
it, but that's life. Films a lot of time will make political messages. The politics of the world will affect the way that films are made, and that people will want to police what people can say, and if something is an art, then that directly goes against that. I think it's inseparable. People can choose to ignore the way that the political climate is in life. That's fine. You know, you have the choice to do whatever you want, but I think that politics are inseparable from life. That's just the reality of the world that we live in. It's hard to just kind of not have things affect the things you like.
Man, that kind of fucking sucks.
So, my problem with it is that...
how do you just go into work and they're like, yeah, you're fired, buddy, Because those tweets 10 years ago,
Yeah.
I'd have been like, I don't even remember those tweets.
Well, I think the problem is that
I deleted my Twitter. I forgot to tell you, I deleted it.
Okay.
It's very important that I say this now because I will forget. But I think it was time. Just because I just don't get a lot of enjoyment out of it. And I do think a lot of it's cringy, but there is some funny stuff that actually makes me laugh.
The reason I stay on Twitter is there's funny stuff that you can't really get on any other platform.
I understand that too.
I would definitely leave Twitter because it's so.
What do you mean you?
It's toxic.
What do you mean you don't think you would?
I don't think I would because I stay for that. But I would want to leave. Besides that, staying for the
well, I just think I'm more of like an Instagram guy, though. I think I like posting pictures and all that.
Okay.
Even
that's neither here nor there.
No, I know. Okay. Go
no
back.
No one gives a shit about you.
Well, thanks.
You're gonna die someday.
I really don't think I like Snapchat either, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but Snapchat's the same as like, do I like texting?
I
use it the same way. It's just a contact between.
No,
people.
I know, but that's what I hate though. I hate that there's two like modes of like communication. I just want one. I just want one where everyone can just agree like we're texting here.
The difference is I think that if you have an Android, you can't necessarily text with no you can't text with Wi-Fi and no signal, but Snapchat you can use on Wi-Fi.
That is true.
You know, in iPhones you have the iMessage. Both of us have Androids, by the way.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'll be changing anytime soon.
Yeah, so if you're an iPhone user, don't even sub here, okay? We don't even want you.
Yep.
Yeah, we're excluding about 75% of you.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. So, my problem is that James Gunn didn't practice any of these kind of things. Where some people...
But you can think of this as... Sorry, I just want to cut you off because you can think of this as any kind of joke could be taken too far. I don't think he should have been fired, maybe suspended or something. Like he can't... Like, he has to have a lesser part in the movie. Maybe that would have been more reasonable.
Yeah.
But, because if you go back a little bit about... there's a show... It does relate to this, though. A comedian made some, like, he said the N-word. I can't think of his name. He was from, damn it, what's that comedy show, Yazeed? And the guy was in stand-up comedy, and he said the N-word, and his career just bombed.
I forget his name.
You know who I'm talking about,
the guy that plays,
Grimer.
He plays Kramer,
there you go. I couldn't think of it. But yes, his career completely tanked and stuff like that. Actually, I don't think that was a joke. I think he was just yelling at somebody in the audience. No.
I don't remember. I've seen the clip, but I can't remember. I'm not gonna go on it. The thing I'll tell you is that I think Cosmo Kramer was also like
crazy,
a little bit harder to. He's an actor actually, not the character, but the actor was a little bit difficult to work with on Seinfeld because he would always talk about how. So like Jerry Seinfeld, I like Seinfeld. It's not the greatest show by any means, but it's good in a lot of senses.
It's funny.
Seinfeld was playing. Jerry Seinfeld was playing a version of himself. Everyone was mostly playing a version of themselves, besides Kramer.
Yeah, I play a version of myself.
Yeah, Kramer was not really like the character was very different than the actor.
Yes.
He's very crazy and insane and whatever. But he would always like get mad at everyone for laughing and breaking character because then he was like, well, I have to, I'm trying to stay in character and stuff. So he would get pissed all the time. But difference is like it's more of like practice what you preach. So like the difference between I think like someone like Roseanne who recently got fired from her own show. Roseanne Barr.
Why?
Well, she tweeted about how some woman looked like a monkey. And she was an African American woman, I believe, a politician, and she had said racist things in the past, and all this stuff. But I think there's a difference between like, I think you can say a joke that's in bad taste and is racist. There's certain degrees that I will say like, so you can't say like.
I don't.
So you think that I think it's different when it's like you believe that all Jews are greedy.
Okay.
If you say a joke
to
someone.
You're saying it's different if you're
I think there's a difference between believing what you're saying when it's a joke, and saying a joke because it's funny.
Yes, but that's a tough one because a joke is a joke, and it's gonna hurt someone, and there's different levels of effectiveness.
Yes.
That's not the right word.
You're right. I think there's certain things in poor taste. If I say the N-word,
it doesn't
in a joke, it's not gonna be good.
Yeah, because of today's climate. That if you said it,
yeah, but it's fair. I mean, it's not like, oh well, everyone should be able. No, just live.
What do you mean it's fair? I don't think it's. Wait a second.
I think that people are offended by certain words, and that the idea that no words are off limits.
I do think it's offensive. I do.
Yeah, it's offensive, and I think that the idea that it's like, oh, certain people shouldn't say it. You know what? I think that's fine because I think any other solution is way too naive to think about.
What?
The world has a bad history. The words have bad history, so when you say them, you can't separate, the context of the word from the word. And yeah, they're just words, but the context has to go with words. You know what I mean? But
yes.
Okay, what I'm saying is that you can say a joke that about, let's say, Vietnamese people, because our friend Claude is Vietnamese. So we can make a joke about him being Vietnamese, and when some fucking Asian text will come up on a screen or something, I'll say, "Hey Claude, what's that say?" And that could be considered offensive. You know what I mean? There are people out there that probably would be outraged by that.
Yes, but I don't think that's as effective or harmful as the N-word.
No, but I'm saying compared to what he said.
Okay, yes. All right,
so,
pedophilia.
I think there are people that probably have trauma due to rape or molestation, and I think it's fair to say...
I think rape is a big one, though.
Yes, I'm not disagreeing, but I'm saying that he doesn't believe... he obviously doesn't believe those statements that you said. And that's a joke. I don't believe that, a lot of things. I don't believe that Claude only eats rice or any... or that Asian people eat dogs or cats or that...
No,
you know what I mean? But you can say that as a joke, and, depending on the person you're saying it to, it doesn't have to necessarily be offensive. But I think it's hard when someone shows that they're actually a bad person or believes what the things that they're saying, which are offensive, then I think it's hard to kind of keep them on board. It's hard. This is not an easy topic
I know,
to kind of navigate through.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I you know what? I will stand by. I don't think he should have been fired.
I don't think he should have been fired either.
I think I don't even because it's such a long time period. Maybe 5 years would be more recent.
But I think it has to do with the fact that this was not a secret. There were news articles written about this. What he said in the past, he apologized for them, and then we're bringing it up. That's the thing with me. It's I think it's hard to be oh well, we weren't mad about it then, but now we're mad about it. I think that's difficult.
Yes, but your boss. Everybody's boss is a dick, and they change their mind. They can do whatever they want. They're the fucking boss.
Whoa. Yes, I understand. I'm saying from a business standpoint, yeah, it makes sense. Disney's going to want to protect themselves, blah, blah, blah. I think it sucks on a personal or moral level. Business and morals don't usually get along.
Yeah, I know that. Trust me.
So, what I'm saying is that from a moral level, it's why are we just picking and choosing when to be offended by stuff? And, it's hard, and there's a lot of things that... Should we hold him to the same standard as we hold another... a politician? Isn't there a difference? Or do we hold everyone to the same standard?
That's...
It's difficult to really kind of get your head around.
I think... with a politician... Oh...
So,
okay,
right,
I think there... but what you said about believing... You can make a joke, but I think you have to use your words wisely.
Yes. I think there's a difference between saying an offensive joke. A joke, while it doesn't have to necessarily be funny, some people aren't going to find any jokes funny.
No, it doesn't have to be
So
funny.
A joke is something with the intent of comedic purpose, correct?
Yes.
And a statement, I think a joke and a statement are different things. like you saying something offensive, like calling someone the N-word is different than saying a joke with the N-word in it. I think it's hard with like the N-word, but I'm saying that there is a discernible difference between those things. I think most people will agree there is a discernible difference between saying a joke with the N-word in it and calling someone the N-word. I think there's a difference.
Yes.
While they're both pretty bad, I think that there is a difference.
No,
and everyone will say that.
Yes.
But I think it's like, when do we hold our comedians to the same standard as we hold like journalists or our president, James Garfield?
I think
it becomes difficult to kind of to say like I think it's really hard because it comes down to more like personal opinion. It's hard to say like I can't really put my view over everyone. I couldn't even like it's just hard. I get it.
I think I could try to break this down, but I think it's more along the lines of culture, I guess you could say, by the Migos. But like what society deems as inappropriate. And I think now, 10 years ago, yes, still inappropriate, but not as how people are now. They're more attacking and they're on it and they don't want any, like, slander. You know what I mean? I think, I'm not saying because it was 10 years ago that it's right, okay? It's not right. It wasn't funny and it's not right. Talking about pedophiles is really not right, but I don't think they can be corrected. But that's...
but I think have you never said a joke about pedophilia?
Probably have. I've said a joke about everything.
Yeah. But the thing is like it's just hard because it's just hard.
I think with our president now,
James Garfield.
Yes, yeah. James Garfield, yes. That there's stuff that you could pull from way back when, right? And even with any candidate, right? You could pull stuff back in their past and you'd be like, well, that wasn't right, or you did this. But when you start messing up recently and you start saying things that are
I think it's showing that you're not you're not grown, capable of getting with the times.
Yes.
Which is
not even that, just like you haven't grown and you're still doing the same mistakes, so you believe that.
Yeah.
You believe that still. So that, therefore, you can be responsible.
Yeah.
Because you truly are not, you're not an okay candidate.
Yeah. But I think it's hard to hold, so a good example of this is one of Dave Chappelle's recent specials on Netflix. He ends it with, this very long joke about, pimping and kind of, really dark stuff about, if you get a girl, hooked to drugs or something, or if you convince a girl, he talks about how this pimp convinced one of his girls to she made her think she committed murder or something, and then he knew that, so then she would always be it's a really complicated joke, but it's funny. It's definitely offensive, and there are people that are going to be offended by that. But I think it's not wrong to be offensive, and it's not wrong to be offended either. I think those are things that are fine. I think it's different when you're trying to censor people and when you're trying to be unapologetic for people. So it's oh, well, guess what? I had a rape experience. I'm offended. I think you should be apologetic to people. I think you can stand by with saying, I thought what I said was funny. Not everyone's going to find it funny, but I still apologize to you. I apologize that I made you feel this way. Blah, 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 right? I think that's fine.
Okay.
That doesn't make you weak or anything. But I also think saying, you said that offended me, you're done. You're canceled. Twitter loves to cancel people because of whatever they say. And it's saying, you're done. So, I think that's also rough, too, because it's just, we're all very involved with each other, and that's the way that the climate of the world is now, social media, that it makes us closer in the wrong ways to other people.
Yeah. I kind of get you.
But I'm saying, I think you have the right to be offended. You have the right to be offensive. You don't have the right to censor other people.
I do
but
think,
you
yes.
you should, I think, be apologetic to people. And you should say, you got to understand the weight of your words. That doesn't mean what you said was wrong or not funny. If it's a joke. I think that...
I think it's wrong. I think if you say it...
If you say a rape joke, it's wrong.
I think it's wrong. I personally feel like...
But do you think it can't be funny?
I think it can be funny. Oh, this sounds wrong, but I think it can be funny if you say it in the right way.
Well, I think so too,
But I still think it's wrong.
But I think
because I think it's wrong because you could choose to say other jokes, and that's why I think it's wrong.
Sure, but I think apologizing. It's not people apologize in such a fake way, and they don't really mean it a lot of times.
Like a YouTube video.
But I think it's like when I apologize, I'm not really apologizing for what I say. Like, it's like, yeah, I stand by what I said, whatever, but it's like, I apologize that what I said made you feel that way. And I think that's not really a bad thing. Like, that's a good thing to say that. You know, it's like, if you say something totally morally incorrect, that's different than saying a joke about something. Something that's not supposed to be taken seriously. And I think we probably ended up there because this kind of went on for a while.
No, I think this was good. You really, your 4 points, I think, are very correct. And I think we both can agree that he didn't deserve to be fired.
I just think, from a business standpoint, I totally get it. But from a moral standpoint and an art standpoint, artists always try to push the boundary of what's acceptable, not acceptable, and that breeds interesting things, regardless.
Do you think that he should have had some kind of, like, because they resurfaced or because he said it in the first place, do you think that he should have just been left alone, nothing happened, or do you think that something should have
But I think that
happened,
this was
a
already
punishment?
dealt with. He apologized for it. This is in the past. I think retroactive... So it's different if, like, a tape comes out of you saying something in the 80s where you said the N-word.
Or
like,
you say grab, yeah.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, James Garfield, like, saying, like, grab those Cheetos or whatever.
Yeah. Did they even have Cheetos in, the 1930s?
Nah, I mean, Tommy, that's such a dumb question. Cheetos in the 1920s?
Or 30s.
30s? That's not better.
Did they have it?
Cheetos?
I don't think so, right?
You have to go to a mental hospital, dude.
I don't even think they did.
No, they didn't. Of course not. What the fuck?
When were Cheetos even made?
I don't know.
Look it up. I need to...
After.
No, I'm looking up right now.
So what
Go
I'm
ahead.
saying is that this is old news. Like, he apologized for these things already, and then everybody went, not me, but people just went over it like, oh, okay, we're done here, you know? Mm-hmm. We heard him apologize. Okay, we accepted the apology. It's fine. He was hired. This was before he was hired as director. You know, when he was hired as director, no one was like, wow, he said these things, blah, blah, blah. We waited till now to be like, oh, we're pissed.
When they resurfaced, though, don't you think more people got offended?
Yeah, but that has to do with a lot of things. Time, but it's not like it was a secret. People are just lazy.
1948. Oh, wait. Fritos creator Charles Elmer Doodlin invented Cheetos in 1948. Wow, that's
definitely fake.
No.
His name's Doodlin?
Doolin? It's
Let me see.
Doolin.
Oh, doodling. I thought you said doodle. So, because it's like a cheese doodle. I was like, that's fake.
Oh.
Alright, whatever. I think we kind of got the point across. Call us out if we're wrong about any things, and feel free to voice your opinion.
Wait, maybe 19... No, it was... Yeah. It changed in 1998.
Okay. Feel free to voice your opinion, and, you know, I mean, if anybody hears this and wants to have a conversation about it, feel free to. Just think about what you're saying before you say it. I mean, I think I tried to. Tommy may not have, because I kind of sprung this on him. What? But I think just about what we were saying.
No, I'm thinking about it.
No, I know, but you didn't have, like, exactly time to prepare for this.
No, I think that's good when people don't have time to prepare. Dude, oh my god, I have to tell you, I saw... Wait, no. Just let me tell you, I saw Mr. Barbeline. Well, you guys don't know who that is, but
okay.
I was stunned. Like, that kind of shock, I didn't even say hi. He drove right by, and he looked at me, and I was like, I was in shock. And I think moments like those are good. They're awkward, but they're good, and I think it helps.
Okay. Next week, we're going to have our friend Claude on.
Yeah, the Asian one.
The Vietnamese one, let's be more specific. He's half Vietnamese, sorry. He will be on. We're going to be, like how when Billy came on, if you've heard that one, going to be having him watch a movie and listen to an album that we're together choosing for him.
Mm-hmm.
So the movie is going to be Step Brothers, Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. The album is going to be Strem Life, the first one by Ray Stremmerd.
Yep.
Ray Stremmerd. yeah, so that's gonna be it for this time.
Yep. And you better watch and listen to that before you go into the video.
Yeah.
And I guess goodbye.
I guess good morrow.